Oh, that's new. A lady says recording in progress. It's always something new. Welcome to our meditation today. It's called Be the Light. And that's such an appropriate name because we are raising our frequencies to become brighter and lighter. And that's a pretty silly summary. But in fact, that's what's happening. Over the last decades, a plan has been accelerated and played out to create a polar shift on Earth, to rewarp the grid of harmonic frequencies holding everything. And if you're listening to this, you're just this little satellite circuit board radio system that is allowing the frequencies to be modulated and integrated and input into the grid here in the third dimension through you. So, of course, think about it. Think about the wattage going through you, your skin cells, the tissues, and the brain rewiring. It's can be pretty intense, but it's what we signed up for. It's accelerated now. So if you're breathing and walking around right now, you think it can't get much worse. Well, we're learning to understand what is happening. And the solar flares, the energies coming in as a result of all of this shift and change are part of the whole picture. And this week, there's been quite a few. So we have solar flares coming in. And of course, because everything is connected, we have the Earth here, it's this ball with the Schumann resonance, and it's speeding up. So just think, you have an electromagnetic system. That's what makes your heart beat. That's what holds all your rhythms. So the other day, I'm telling the doctor, I feel like I have a severe neurological disease. And you know, all of us, headaches, neuralgia, imbalance, heart irregularities. And my doctor's so funny. She actually put the whole list in my chart. And I thought, well, it's better to be safe than sorry, because all this wear and tear on our systems, plus any fear or confusion, it can wear your nervous system out. So I often say the way to deal with that is to not go at it full force all the time. Sometimes just take a breather, take water, don't think about it. Replenish yourselves with fluids, let all that heat of the electrical impulses and systems rest, and command. You have a support team, the unseen interdimensional ones. Command, slow it down, let's chill. And then I have for your own mental processes to say, today I rest. You're in immense service boot camp of something you have never even imagined. Your higher self knows and signed up for it, and you may have more and more levels of awakening as to exactly what's happening. But that's why I do the Be the Light meditations, because you promised to become the light, but we really don't have an operational manual for that. So I'm here to help and support, and every week it's a different topic. And this week, the topic is you as a physical being, electromagnetic driven ball of fluid and light and tissues. What is your universal citizen role in this transition? You are here poised on this, right here on the surrounding third dimensional, earthbound, dense aspect of the experience right now for Earth. Simultaneously, your consciousness is parked in a higher place. And you do know everything, and you do see everything, and you do understand it. So it's time to kind of open that little aperture and let a little bit more information come down and more skills. Why? Because you've come this far. You've shown up. You've gotten on the bus and you haven't petered out. So we're asking for more help. And when you ask for help, you get it, because you say, I ask in intent. But first, let's just talk about, you're this universal citizen here. You're a volunteer to be this satellite way station for the new frequency and balanced person. Let's talk about the geophysical magnetic aspects of the divine plan. And of course, I studied with Caroline Corey, gosh, probably for over a decade, and absorbed and used all of her wisdom. It is like the divine plan blueprint, and it helped me understand the whole divine plan, who I am, my role as a cheerleader, and kind of nexus for information and support and connection. And it really helps to know your role and to at least waken enough to the implementation of your work and role so that you're not fried and you can still have somewhat of a healthy, tolerable life during all of this. So the geomagnetic aspects of the divine plan, this has never happened on Earth before. And beginning in the year of 2000, so we're 21 years into this. You know, it started in the harmonic conversion, 1984. Little tiny steps, little tiny steps. And now, 20 years later, big steps, big solar flares. Not intermittent, but uninterrupted frequency movement, because we're getting better and better all the time at handling it. So the total manifestation of the electrical upgrades is spread over a period of approximately 20 years. So what does that tell you? We're getting to the zenith of the zzz, of the buzz. The electromagnetic field has been recalibrated. The Earth's tectonic pulse and changes in the Earth's axis and rotation cycle even though these may seem fairly subtle, think about it. These is universal fabric, and as it moves even a tiny bit, it changes everything in the galaxy and receives different signals from the universal core. Some of you have heard me say 200,000 years ago, some free will marauders, escapists, who knows what, Luciferian types came, infiltrated galactic administrators, and put some different geometric formulas, different musical formulas, different frequency formulas into the Earth surrounding base of a dodecahedron nature, which is a closed system. We became shut off, we became detuned, and we became mutated into fearful social fabric. So that plan didn't work. It almost took Earth out. And I'm just doing this as a little repeat so people know if there's new people listening to this today or in the future, that things now are going to be opened. So Earth and her people are open to, for what? To communicate, to travel, to bilocate, to access information, to morph things, good for all and harm to none. So that's what your spiritual path has been about, to come to this point, to connect, access that you're actually this visitor here, this transducer, and how do I finish this race with grace and glory as a representative and ambassador of reigniting goodness, truth, beauty, love on Earth permanently. Did you know that Earth is the newest planet in the entire multi-universal solar systems, and we're right on the edge? We are a crowning jewel, and that's why it became an experiment for free will. What if you let these beings who you gave arms and legs and voices, what if they had free will? Well, it worked beautifully for a while until the interference and the change of the contracted geometry, and it's gone downhill ever since. So I'm sitting here saying the pain is almost over, the wait is almost over. By 2026, because of our great fireworks of new frequencies of love and coherence, 2026 is slated. It's a little behind. It was supposed to be 2021, 22. No fear on the earth plane. The undefended state. Be yourself. You don't have to think ahead. Protect, manipulate, coerce. I mean, the whole game is over. And the next 200 years, we co-create. Let's see, what is it? 40, 50, I'm not that good at numbers, but 200 years from now, we're there. One divine government, ministries to handle everything. And you know it. You know this in your DNA because your DNA has gone beyond the DNA your parents gave you, the basic DNA. The rest of the DNA has been spinning and expressed and growing every time. The solar flares, the Schumann resonance, you are unfolding into the new harmonic song for Earth. And many of us are doing it together, and we are singing the divine song through the grids, through the 0 points, and we are lifting it all up because we are being the light. Okay. So the polar shift engenders tremendous electromagnetic showers. That's what we've been feeling that occur within the Earth grid, bombarding the planet with new energy that remains collected within the stratosphere and atmosphere, ionosphere of the planet. The areas most affected are North America and European Peninsula. Who's most waking up now? And truly, it's a Western thing, and it's through the feminine. What did the Dalai Lama say? The Western women will raise the new torch of truth and light and hope. What did Rudolf Steiner say? The beings in the Western, Northern United States would hold the leadership torch to overturn the over-masculinized, mechanistic, kind of burning up electrical AI systems. Okay. So, by the end of 2007, South America aligns electromagnetically with Europe first, then Africa. So all of these things have been happening outside of our cognition, but we feel it. The Earth's magnetic field begins to rotate in one direction, south of the equator. The opposite direction, the magnetic field located north of the equator. And you know how all these things have happened? Through us listening to spirit, through us hearing a new song and singing it and pressing send. I was assigned, I've had the wildest life the last 20 years since I devoted my life to this. There's a rock drummer, this big macho alpha male guy, and spirit, he signed up for my Tour de France, and spirit said, okay, before you go to France, you are going to go to this little town that was French and German in the war, it went back and forth. And you are going to find a tree, because that tree holds the spin that needs to be reversed on this planet through a leader, feminine female, and an alpha male making peace and finding it together. Oh my God, it got so bad I had to put a sheet in our room. We were, didn't have a lot of money, so I had to put a sheet because I just couldn't. The energy was so amazing from this big, know-it-all rock guy, who I of course love, but on a trip. And I don't know how we did it. Well, how we did it was we had to forgive each other, we had to love each other, we had to laugh, we had to eat the local food, and we had to find that tree, and we found it. There it was. We used our own internal grid system. We meditated. We worked together. We drove around in the car and we found the tree. We did this ceremony, and in that ceremony, he actually handed over the baton of the control of the masculine over the infrastructure to the feminine. And the energies of the tree began to move. Of course, it was the geophysical vortex below that tree. The tree was just the marker. Humans will not inherit Earth unless they learn peacemaking. Exactly what he and I did as a ritual. Deep peacemaking within humans and their circuit boards. That was the feminine working with, appreciating, and loving a masculine who he had to appreciate and love me. And he was the process of leaving his wife. He was done with the feminine. So that is an example of sometimes you are called to do things And you say, well, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, it's woo-woo, it's crazy. It's so important. Listen, feel it, and do it and enjoy it. To raise your arms and do a dance, you are creating new geometry and movement within yourself, the axiotonal shifts of your body. And everybody who watches that, anybody who watches it and thinks about it, is putting little new sparks into the frequency grid. It is through the artists this is happening. Doesn't have to essentially be ritual, but what he and I did. Okay, so I was checked. I'm a nurse, and I don't want to be buffooned into spending all that money and running around. I checked with a home person. I said, did you see anything happen? She said, I actually saw an entire change. And it went from, I think, counterclockwise. The magnetic vortex underneath there began to stop and move back and shift. Maybe going from the masculine to the feminine. I don't know. And these are undefinable things. But it was nice to check, and I felt complete and done with that ritual. And then we met our other tour people, and I led a beautiful tour for people to go in the divine feminine path of Magdalene and the other great spiritual beings holding the Christed consciousness work. So these are magnificent times, and you don't need to stand back. Let your heart be open to the next adventure, the next song, the next creation. You never know where it's going to end up. And without mentioning names, I'm going to say I received the website yesterday of a beautiful singer whose heart is in the right place, and she is aligned with the harmonic divine frequencies coming to earth. And I just, my heart, and believe me, if I hear someone sing, most people, I turn it off instantly. And to me, it's not even the quality of the voice, it's the heart. The voice is the megaphone. And so when I heard this voice, I got the chill. I'm clairsentient, and I immediately took it up. And my partner does world events, and he's working on a world event team right now. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But the right people have to go on the list. And I said, listen to this voice. This voice will go in the grid and have the resonance and have an integrating weaving effect. And I'm so joyful. And he said, he listened to 2 notes, and he goes, yes, that's a yes on that one. And believe me, I've taken him beautiful singers and stuff. He goes, yeah. So that's what we do as a team, the masculine and feminine. And so in many ways, in your everyday life, while you're going through this, the geomagnetic storms and all of these things, know that your little, you think it's little, it's important. Your part is important. Even if you're just visiting somebody and traveling. I know someone on this call travels a lot right now. This is you, okay? And you are visiting another point of light, another person, another property, and you are taking and connecting. And if you're listening and combining your frequencies by listening today and being part of this, every single meditation I've ever done, every leader, master I've worked with, everything is now part of my megaphone, part of my voice, and it's going into your vortex. So when you go and visit places, you are creating holy temples of light. Why? Because you showed up, because you listened. Oh, I need to go to this property. And you're learning lessons, and it's part of your journey to carry that light, a light carrier. Sometimes I think it's fun to have a little name, the song whisperer, to be the light whisperer for a little while. Why not? Give yourself a magical name, because yeah, sometimes when I need to remember the magic, here it is. It's so great. You can get these. It works every time. I've given these to so many people. You can get it on Amazon. You buy 2 at once, it's probably like $5, but it's just nice. It just reminds us that we can be the light, and that our voices and our artistic projects can actually interrupt everything. The minute I did this got your attention, didn't it? It's like, oh, sound, light. That's what you are. You are sound and light. Showing up, you open your voice, and guess what? This happens. You are the light. You sing a song even bigger. You do a dance. You make a pie that smells so good, that has so much love in it. It is so flaky and so delicious. Just, we're bringing heaven to earth in every little nuance in every step. And I'm not saying it's easy, because on our spiritual path, as things are happening faster, we get tested. I get tested. And this week I've been pretty deeply tested. And then I always say, well, what is fair? What is the most highest integrity? What are my agreements? And I never jump right in and say what I'm thinking off the top of my head, because I have to make sure I'm not dialing it in from my ego, resistance, or past painful experiences. So what I do is I make my lists, and I put down all my feelings, and I get my inner guidance of how it feels. And again, I don't know if I'm residing in my old reaction pattern, or if I actually am keeping a neutrality and staying calm and looking at it. And then I always say, how can I smooth this? And how can I always, bottom line, be true to myself and my mission, and not go sideways trying to be nice for someone else? And that is true Christed consciousness. It's not trying to keep things nice and smooth and people happy. It's being that divine mother who says, actually, you got to brush your teeth or they're going to rot. Or actually, I don't see this working. These energetically just don't work and aren't correct. And sorry, this is how I see it. And on my shift and what I'm holding, this is how it is. And I'm sorry that we didn't see this conversation coming, but we can't predict and work with everything. So we're these universal citizens. We're put in these personalities. We're put in these roles. We have so much that we're working with all the time. I already said in 2026, there'll be no fear, but we're still in the thick of it. So, a universal citizen, we want a little bit more light, a little bit more communication with source, to make it more clear and easier. And so we're not struggling back and forth. Oh, one more part. When I have something that I'm discerning, my part, am I being appropriate, this and that, it's good. That's why I say get into a circle, have a support team, because we can only go so far in figuring out with our own social patterning if we are being fair, if we are being in integrity and truth and light beyond our own ego, especially if it's hitting our core wounding. So I have a sister that I call and ask, and she's just, and I know she has her glasses on, but she will tell me, oh no, that person's manipulating you, Jan. And I go, oh, good, okay. I got it from a regular person, my sister. And then I asked my partner, and he's very wise. He's worked with world leaders, musicians, politicians, and he calls a spade a spade. And then I have another friend who has just divine intuitive skills. But again, she might have her glasses on that day too. So I take all of this in and I settle it down, because I want what I have to say and offer to be as clean and pure, and I want it to matter in a way that doesn't create more trauma. That's what we're moving away from. So we take a breath and we don't hurry. Okay, so I added that part. So here we are, we're a universal citizen. So let's begin our meditation wherever you are at. And it's okay to shut your eyes because we take in so much stimulation through our eyes. And go ahead and take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We honor that we have taken on this role, this position, as a universal citizen being here visiting this wonderful planet Earth as she has a transit back into divine alignment. We know sometimes we need a seatbelt because it gets a little bumpy, making sense of being born as a regular person and now awakening to the bigger picture and understanding. But we are ready and allowing for our heart to access the full truth. We'll let our mind figure out how to serve our heart after we access the absolute truth, which is so fantastical and out of the realm of the mind's understanding and ability to see or fathom or control or dominate. We are going to work with our heart. Our heart. So take your attention to your heart. In this divine sacred space, we create a beautiful geometric structure around ourselves and we remove everyone else's energy. We are free of the thought fields of every human on this planet, including ourselves. We are emptying ourselves of the old tired thought fields, mistruths, and misalignments. We are seeing our heart open up almost like a fractalated prism that is able to reflect, match, align, and connect with Source. So we're sending a pulsing, beautiful beam, a pure light frequency up to Source saying, hello, I'm here. I'm ready. Can we talk? Can we connect? I am ready. My face is towards Source, towards the truth of all that is. And I know there's a lot of information I don't know yet. But in this moment, I want to claim that you're my true home, that this energy is my go-to source. And right now, I'm surrendering my earthly constructs, perceptions, ideas, resistances, all of it. And I feel the warmth of Source. I feel the warmth and love, and it's drawing me closer. And it is melting off everything that I am ready to release. So in your mind, repeat after me. I ask and intend to release all the energies that are in between me and my Creator. I open my heart to merge with the love of pure Source. I am home. Just keep breathing. Allow all of this re-articulation to occur like a kaleidoscope, and I'll do a little bit of sound in this process. Your heart is receiving, embodying, We're weaving the ribbons almost like ropes together with Source. You are tethered, fastened, held in the ribbon frequency fields of pure light. It is woven into your heart deeply and permanently. And you're allowing this energy now to radiate out from your heart and to permeate your organs, your cells, your nervous system. Divine Mother and Divine Father, as aspects of Source are surrounding you, your true home, your true family, redefining everything about your existence here on earth now. As a child of Source, we ask and intend that you download the information, the vibration of confidence and peace and trust in all that is unfolding. We ask that you understand and know the next best step. And as you are standing, floating in this cloud, this mist, we ask that these energies integrate fully and deeply into all parts of your being. Specifically on the back of your neck, feel that it is opening, the medulla oblongata. It is opening its aperture to receive the spiritual light and energy into your spine, filling your nervous system, refreshing reset. And so it is. So just take a few moments just to let this rest and integrate in your system. Imagine that you are putting a beautiful golden resilient egg around your physical body so that this can settle in undisturbed by the external all that is. This is your resilient bubble of light. We ask that as this tune-up occurs, that it is integrating in grace and ease. And if possible, today, maybe after this, after we just talk for a few moments related to this, after I turn off recording, rest a little bit, drink water, think good thoughts, because this new geophysical infrastructure within yourself is subtle, pulsing, like silica, pure glassine tubes of light. So we protect it while it is strengthening and settling in to become even stronger and more settled and impervious to the external. So take a nice deep breath and feel your heart is just radiating out just as it can and should and is. And so it is. So I'm going to press stop the recording. I'm Jan Jorgensen at Wednesday morning, Be the Light meditations. And on my website, I have a list of, I don't know, maybe 200 of these meditations. And we are stair-stepping, moving towards becoming fully the light together. So I'm appreciative that you joined me today on this journey.